Well, good morning, good friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods. Good morning, football gods. Man, here it is. It's already Taco Tuesday. A lot of you are preparing to get out of town and stuff for Thanksgiving. Please take your time, be safe, arrive alive, and make sure that you're here with the Joe Boo Sports Report. I got so much to do today. I've got work I've got to do in the workshop. I've got to go out and get everything together for Thanksgiving. I got my turkey thawing out, got my ham. I need to get my bread for my stuffing and the sausage for the stuffing and the apples for the other stuffing and everything, so that way we can have the Thanksgiving feast on here. And I'm debating on whether or not I should get a big sub just in case, and just have it ready. Just have it ready to go, because you just don't know. We literally just don't know. Is it the big sub? We have lost the last 5 Thanksgivings, and I really don't want to have this to be another one. So I think I'm going to call them and say, can I get a big sub for tomorrow? I think I want a big sub for tomorrow. All right, so here we go. I got a bone to pick. When you think about things that happen, like CBS leaving the national game with the Cowboys rolling, we're enjoying this as a Cowboy fan. We're not turning off the TV as Cowboy fans. We're not leaving. To take it off in the third quarter, I don't know that that's ever happened before. That pissed me off. I want to see the Cowboys when they do. I don't want to see them when they're getting their ass kicked. I want to see them when they're beasting. And here's the thing that's kind of crazy. I remember early part of the season when the Cowboys beat Cincinnati. For the next several weeks, they still had Cincinnati, even though they had a worse record, ranked higher than the Dallas Cowboys. So this is one of the early polls that came out right here. We got Dallas Cowboys at 6. I want to read what they say about the Cowboys here, okay? Week 11 results. 1 at Minnesota, 40-3. There's little question who the biggest winner of Week 11 were. 1 week after dispiriting overtime loss to Green Bay, the Dallas Cowboys were once again on the road in the NFC North, this time against the hottest team in the league. But after blowing a 14-point fourth-quarter lead to the Packers, they didn't offer a repeat in Minnesota. Instead, the Cowboys annihilated the Vikings in the biggest road win in franchise history. Cowboys dominated every facet of the game. Running back Tony Pollard continued his month-long rampage, piling up 189 yards and 2 scores. The Dallas defense stymied the Vikings, sacking Kirk Cousins 7 times. And as Sabowski noted, the Cowboys served notice to the rest of the NFC that they may be the conference best. This year's Cowboy squad looked to be the best unit that the organization has fielded in the last 5 years, and possibly a lot longer, he said. At least Jerry Jones thinks so. I think if we use the experience of what we're having in the season, we're going to be playoff ready, Jones said. But I sure do think what I see out here right now is a team that could go to Super Bowl with. Some may take the comments by Jones normal bluster, but the 7-3 Cowboys mollywopped the previous one-loss Vikings. A 40 spot on the road against a top caliber opponent shows how well-rounded they are, and yes, included with a handful of Super Bowl contenders. Well, damn. That sounds pretty good. That sounds like they kicked ass and that they're one of the best teams in football. Hence being ranked 6. But let's go down to number 5. The Minnesota Vikings. Say what? Life comes at you fast in the NFL. Just ask the Minnesota Vikings. Just a week ago, the Vikings were riding high. The team has won its 7th straight game by shocking the Bills in Buffalo. Minnesota looked like one of the NFC's best team, maybe the best. Then the Dallas Cowboys came to town and dropped a 40-burger. Minnesota was blasted in every way a team can be. The loss was the worst home setback for a team in almost 6 decades and the second worst home loss in franchise history. The loss left Minnesota with a negative point differential, a rarity for an 8-2 team. It has dramatically shifted the narrative around the team from that of a Super Bowl contender talk to that it isn't as good as its record. Head coach Kevin O'Connell acknowledged that the conversation may have changed, but that didn't matter to him. I don't think we are concerned with those things, Connell said. We just know each and every week the league is another opportunity to prove who you are. As a football team, I don't think that we did that Sunday. I don't think we gave ourselves a chance to compete. We got a lot of things to sort out and try and get it right. At least the Vikings won't have to wait long to attempt to quiet the doubters. Minnesota will be hosting the 6-4 New England Patriots on Thanksgiving night. I'm just trying to understand how the Cowboys shellacked and beat the hell out of a Minnesota Viking team, and somehow that team is still ranked above them. I don't understand that. But, actually, I'm kind of glad that they do that. Because what you notice is last week, Micah Parsons was talking about, he was pissed off. He took it personally that the defense gave up that 14-point lead. And I think the Cowboys play better angry. CeeDee Lamb kind of mirrored that. CeeDee Lamb had said, most definitely the potential is there. We understand that we have a locker room and playing less than just that pisses us off as a unit. As much work as we put in to get to this point. We definitely need a gut check every now and then, and hopefully it won't lead to a loss. But every now and then you have to check your engine. In other words, we shouldn't be getting shellacked or beat or give up a 14-point lead to anybody. Now, we got some good news. Micah Parsons is good to go. Micah Parsons is good to go for Thursday. He like everybody, he's a little bit nicked up at this time of the year. And Odell Beckham Jr., it looks like he won't be in for a visit until December. And that's probably by Odell's design because he wants to be as healthy as possible when he sits down with the Cowboys. So that way he can say, look, I'm in great shape. I want more money. This is probably a negotiation tactic. And the thing is, really, you're going to have Thanksgiving game Thursday. The Cowboys are going to be off, till the beginning of the next week because they don't play until December 4th. So there's a lot of time in there that, the team's going to kind of have that mini bye week and stuff. And it's time for him to really get himself together and ready to start playing. So that's the news that's on there. Now, this is interesting to me because speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. They have Shady McCoy. And in Shady McCoy's mind, he literally hates Dak Prescott. No matter what happens, win or lose, Dak Prescott sucks in his mind. This goes back to the Dakisms. When originally his rookie year, we were 13-3. Oh, Dak Prescott. He's a dink and dunker. Dink and dunk. Dak Prescott can't get the ball down the field. Okay, we start getting the ball downfield and scoring lots of points. Empty calories. Just empty calories. Oh, I'm sorry. Garbage time. And so now Shady, after the Cowboys put up a historic win against the Minnesota Vikings, Dak didn't impress me. Listen to this.
They're going to be part of the postseason, and they're not an NFC East team. Yep. This is not the common type of opponent that you play twice a year, every year. So to go to their house and do that, it's incredibly impressive. I don't know how you could see it as anything other than a statement, knowing that this team is capable of doing that. We've seen it from their defense, right? with every game really except the Packers, this defense has dictated the pace. They've gotten sacks, they've gotten takeaways, all that good stuff. Now you partner it with an offense that is capable of looking like that. 40 points, 458 yards of offense.
This team sounds great, don't they?
7 straight scoring drives. Yeah. 8 out of 10 on the day. 8 out of 10 possessions ended in points. It's a statement. I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl or anything crazy like that, but it is a statement that I have not seen this team make in 10 years.
Oof.
Yes.
I like that point. Did they make a statement, Big Dog?
Here we go. This is Shady McCoy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, real hating, man, that's like an art form, man. You know, it's like you like a born a hater, you know, like myself, man. You know, a lot of cats think they hate, but, man, I mean, I'm mad at everything, man. You know, brother got a nice car, man. Why you got a car, man? I only got 1 car. Why you got 3 cars or a wife or all that, man? That's played out, man. I hate on it till he's totally broke and ain't got nothing like me, you know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, that's what real hating is all about, man.
That's Shady McCoy.
I would say they made a statement. I thought that they showed that they could be a physical team, right? I thought that they couldn't be that. The games that I did watch, they got ran over. They didn't look physical. They got bullied. And they showed that they can be bullies. Like, if you really watch that
What
game,
games have you been watching?
Kellen Moore, he did a great job as an OC. He had the most effective, the most game plan that you can have for the Cowboys, right? They ran the ball all day from start to the end. I mean, if you look at their running backs, right, it was 40 carries, right? Now, Dak Prescott, I want to get on Dak Prescott, right? Okay. Now, I gave the Cowboys they love. You did. They did a good job, and they played everybody on notice. But let's talk about Dak here, right? So, Dak.
Which part?
You said he played a great game.
He played better than Kirk?
He did play better than Kirk. Okay. But you said he played a great game, right?
Just making sure.
And you also said that you like, the last segment we talked about Herbert, how he had 80 yards in the air. Well, Dak averaged 5 yards in the air last game, right? Slants, flats. He threw 3 passes over 20 yards. And then one of them was to a wheel route to the running back, Tony Pollard. So I'll say this.
Beautiful ball.
It's going to be hard to beat teams. Now I'm being serious. It's going to be hard to beat teams, good teams, right? Once you stop the run, then what? We got to put the ball in the quarterback's hands. Same thing we talked about the Packers.
So the Cowboys made a statement, but Dak didn't, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I thought they ran the ball well. I mean, Pollard was lights out. Zeke played really well.
10 and 10. Record in prime time is
running the ball and throwing slants, wheel routes, flat routes, and dump offs.
Here's my thing.
Win games.
Here's my thing, though, 2-5. I think the Cowboys did make a statement because if beating a 8-1 Vikings team in Minnesota by 37 points isn't a statement, then it's impossible to make a statement in the National Football League, in my mind. Unless you beat the Texans down, who's starting Davis Mills, or unless you beat down the Jags, who are just trying to figure life out right now, if you beat a team by 37 points in their house, you walked into their house.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, that was big.
You took your shoes off.
Right.
Put your feet on their couch.
Take their ball.
Bro.
In their backyard.
In their backyard. Open up their fridge.
Ain't no football man play. Give me your ball.
Like, real talk. If you do all that in the NFL, grown men are fighting for pride, for checks, for families, for followers. Grown men are fighting for all of this, and you beat them down by 37. And more importantly than that, if the Vikings aren't good in the NFC, then who is?
Right.
All you can say is the Eagles.
Yeah.
But if the 8-1 Vikings that just beat the Bills in Buffalo, if they're not good, then who is? It was rhetorical, but I hope you have an answer.
We have a question over there.
You have
No, I was just going to say, I did say that. I said that.
That they're not good?
Who is good? Who is good?
Correct.
And I will say this. The margin between great and good in the NFL, and even between great and bad in the NFL,
it's not far.
It's not as big as we think. I know you don't subscribe to Any Given Sunday, but these are all professionals. They all have experience. They're all playing for all those things that you mentioned. This is not college where there is a massive gap in coaching and facilities and money, and you write stories about these unbelievable teams overcoming these juggernauts. That's not the case. This is the NFL.
Right.
So I'm not going to argue that there's some big canyon between the Eagles and everyone else, but there is a difference. There is a difference to me. And there's
I want to play one more thing here. Now, the football, the YouTube gods may end up
The real question is
this.
But who is the better quarterback? Because they got a huge game this weekend.
It's Dak Prescott. The beauty of it is that they get to play on Sunday and settle this.
Yes, they do.
And it's the whole thing with the Vikings. Like, go earn some respect. They're in the process of doing it. But when you're talking about what they've accomplished to this point in their career, I go Dak every single time, and I mean, I can just pull up numbers that back me up. Kirk is a very good statistical quarterback. Like his numbers are good. He was the NFL completion percentage leader in 2015. He can play quarterback. It's about what have you accomplished. I mean, I can just go down the list here. Dak's, and this is a 3:30 game, right, Joy? It's a game that a lot of people are going to be watching. This isn't noon, Kirk.
Cowboys play in quite a few.
This ain't noon, Kirk.
Yeah.
Dak's record in prime time is 18-10.
18.
Cousins' record in prime time is 10-18. How about this? Okay, playoff teams. Another telling metric people talk about all the time. What do you do against a good team? What do you do against a team with a winning record? I said this yesterday. Most quarterbacks have a losing record against teams with a winning record. It's hard to beat those teams. Dak is 18-24.
In his career?
In his career.
Yes, sir.
It's not a great mark. Kirk's record is 10-40.
10-40?
It's 10-40.
Sorry, I shouldn't have laughed
As
like
a starting
that.
quarterback.
It's 10-40. I mean, I can go on and on. There's head-to-head. These guys shared a division for a long time. Kirk went 0-4 against Dak when he was in Washington. He did beat him in 2019. That's fair. Actually, the Vikings and Cowboys have played 4 years in a row. Got the best of Dak in 2019, this will be the 4th year in a row they've played. Beat him in 2019.
Dak had 3 touchdowns,
He's
by the way.
1-4 against Dak all
Kurt
time.
had
So,
one.
I mean, head-to-head speaks volumes for me. And the funny thing for me is they played in 2020, 2021. Dak missed both of those games. Kirk still lost to Andy Dalton and to Cooper Rush. So, I mean, just like when you're talking about accomplishing things, they got the same number of playoff wins. Kirk has been a starting quarterback in the league for longer. I don't know. Like, I mean, where do you want to go with this? Because
All right.
if you're
So,
just talking.
I would say case should be settled right then and there on this one, that Kirk Cousins is left wanting. And I'm going to finish this off again. This will probably all get butchered up by YouTube because I'll get copyrighted. But this was hilarious. You have to love this.
When you get that kind of game out of the boards that you got yesterday, what I call almost a perfect game, the title has to be William Boyd. That's what I call it. William Boyd. That's what I said. Oh, my number 3 playmaker. Man, it's the 2nd year in the lead, and this dude is the best man on defense. Michael Parsons has been dictating to everybody. He had 2 sacks yesterday. Stop thinking. Stop thinking. He wants to do. Don't think. Michael Parsons, you are my playmaker. That's number 3. Oh, that's number 3. That's number 3. Number 2, he dominated. No, I like number 2. He annihilated and he crushed defenses. He dominated. He annihilated. What else he do? And he crushed defenses. Okay. Dominated D.
Dominated.
Annihilate A. And crushed K. That's Prescott. Y'all saw it. That's Prescott. That's my number 2 player. I like the acronym. It's an acronym. That beautiful number 88%. Ring it in my head. He answers all questions. 88%. Put on him. 88%. Is 88 a good number? That's a perfect number. That's a perfect number. That's why he had 139 pass rate, because he was perfect. Oh, and let me tell you my number 1. My number 1. Who number 1? I know who it is. Boy, y'all talk a lot of talk. I know who it is. But I'm going to tell you something. My boy Tony Pollard made them holler. Tony Pollard made them holler. Tony Pollard, 80 yards, running the ball. And then Tony Pollard came back and caught it for 109 yards. That last pass, he down the field. Let me tell y'all something. Running backs don't catch nothing like that. Right on the hands. And it's perfect. Tony Pollard, you made them holler.
You made them holler.
One playmaker. I know a lot of guys play well.
We had double sticks, we had the acronym, and we rhyming.
Dominate. William Boys. That's what we did. William Boys.
Look at this hater in the corner. He a hater. Because it didn't go his way.
William Boys.
Because it don't go his way, he
Boom.
He don't think he's
The perfect game
He
was
was out the
played.
window at the roof.
The perfect game was played.
Because he's sad.
Whoa.
It's gonna be okay.
Woo.
He got to learn.
That Prescott dominated.
Hold on.
And he crushed
The ball.
that acronym for Dak Prescott.
It's gonna be all right.
Whoa.
It's gonna be all right. We them boys. We them boys, right? We them boys. That's what he's saying, right? In November. Let's see what he's saying in January.
It's only November, though, Stephen A.
We the boys.
A fumble, and then he knocks himself out. Do you need another hug? That was rough.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, real hating, man, that's like an art form, man. You know, it's like you like a born a hater, you know, like myself, man. You know, a lot of cats think they hate, but, man, I mean, I'm mad, you know, I'm mad at everything, man.
Everything.
You know, brother got a nice car, man. Why you got a car, man? I only got one car. Why you got 3 cars or a wife or all that, man? That's played out, man. I hate on it till he's totally broke and ain't got nothing like me, you know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, that's what real hating is all about, man.
We them boys. Remember that. Appreciate y'all being here. Hopefully this won't get butchered up.
Our folks here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the show for the sports report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to